again. I'm going to go over something which I've kind of gone over before, but there has been some changes, there's been some advances. I've, expanded on my parallel compression chains. So I thought, we got the band Damage up again, who we've just, if you saw the last video, we just recorded an album, and I'm kind of sorting through everything, doing some editing and getting it ready to mix. And I thought I'd share with you some of my parallel chains. Plus, a friend of mine now from YouTube, Oleg, has asked me about my master bus chain, so I'll kind of give you a little glimpse of that as well. What I thought I would do first, let's just find where we are in the project. I'll give you a quick blast of
what you've done to me, never set me free until I'm imprisoned in the ground, heart is cold as stone. Without you I'm alone, I trust I break before I make devil in the night.
Okay, so you get the idea of what we're talking about. So what I'll do, we'll get the mixer back up, and if we start with my vocals here, these are my two audio tracks that contain the audio. Now, my chorus vocals are over here. If you can see my mouse, let me just scroll over a bit. This is my chorus vocals from this highlighted track to the right. So there's quite a few tracks of them. Plus I've got some effects that I'm sending to that are just purely for the chorus vocals. But if we concentrate on the lead, the main verse vocal here. Now these two, the verse and the pre-chorus, both get sent into this lead vocal bus. Now, don't scream at me for not using folders. I use a fairly complicated routing system, and I find myself tripping over when I'm using folders. Excuse me. So I just tend to keep it with buses and routing and all the rest of it. It's just how I work. I'm old. Come on, give me a break. So what we've got here, if you can see here, I've got my usual, which I always have, is my crush track, which is on every instrument. I have a crush track. I have got a little bit of compression on the lead vocal bus, but in general, I don't tend to. I needed to in this case, but usually I prefer to blend in my parallel chains. So on this one, we have, if I bring it up from the other screen, the Monster, which is basically an 1176 simulation, all buttons in type thing. Last week, I haven't included it in my template yet, but we have now the FG Stress from Slate. So I'll possibly be trying that in some of these chains and see if I can get any better results with that or not. We'll see. So that's my normal vocal crush that's always there. Now what I've been adding to this now is this Pultec vocal. So again, this is a parallel chain, and what we have is we have a Pultec style EQ, and we're attenuating 100 Hz by a fair bit, and then we're boosting 8K. You can make this 5 or 8, in this case 8K seemed to work nicely. Okay, so we're boosting that, then after that we're adding in a compressor, and we're probably compressing by about 7 dB there, or -7 on this scale. And then the final Pultec after the compressor boosts back up that 100 Hz and attenuates a little bit of the 8K just to keep it under control. So what we're basically doing is cutting away the bottom end, boosting the 8K, then compressing that signal, sending it into the final EQ, which then puts back the 100 Hz that we cut out and tames a little bit of the 8K. It gives us a nice mid-frequency kick in the teeth, you know. It really gives a bit more presence and in your face. Okay, so that's that chain. Then I've got my vocal grit. This is a new one as well, and I recently bought Devil Lock when it was on sale, and I use this on it, and it works great just to get a bit of grit and grime in there, and just, you know, a bit of distortion on the vocal, and do it as a parallel and just blend it into taste. Okay, then Vox Shimmer, this is called. So we have the Air EQ, again, the slate stuff. So I'm boosting, where am I boosting? About 20k, fair bit there. And then I'm boosting on using Revival and boosting the top end with Revival, just to give some air and real, you know, again, just blend it into taste. And then I've got this vocal widener, which I'm using the Eventide harmonizer just to create some width with some different things on the side. And I've got Imager on there now. It's just to add a little bit extra width. I don't put a lot on this. You can hear that there's not a lot. It's mainly on the pre-chorus that I'm putting this in. And that's that. So then also, sorry, I'm starting to talk Swedish there. I've got my send effects here, but these are my parallel chains. Okay, the others there were my send effects. So the new ones being the Pultec, the Grit, Shimmer, and the Width. Now the Crush and the Grit I have on everything. I've got them on guitars, I've got them in the drums, etc, etc. On this case, in the guitars, I don't really use them so much. There was enough gain and all the rest of it, and compression via the amp going on. I didn't really need to add anything else. But that's the new parallel chains. So just to kind of let you see, let you think, experiment, you know, try different things. You can, you know, you don't have to stick to just compression. You can add in, like, you know, that EQ trick with the compressor, compressing the 8K, etc. You know, lots of different things you can do there. So let me see, now all of this, all my buses get sent to this 2-tape bus, as I call it. And what I use this for is to push the signal into my submix track that has my effects on it, so I can control how hot or not it's getting sent into these effects. Okay, so I've got Brits and Channel on here, so as you can see I'm boosting this a fair little bit. So that then goes into my submix. So these are my master effects. This is a free compressor from Acoustica called Tan. It's an SSL type thing, works really nicely with this track. I have my SDC, which you've seen before. I'm not using it on this one, but it just sits in my chain. It didn't quite work, the Tan worked better. Then I have the FG Mu from Slate. This is not compressing at all, it's just there because it adds some harmonics and just helps with the sound. Fine, my voice is going. And then I've got, which from Mic Track, I've got a console, a little bit of Revival, and just a trimmer just to keep things under control. Then I use BX Digital. I'm widening to 141%, and I'm boosting a little bit of top end, but only on the sides. Okay, that's all I'm doing with that. Then I've got Smiley Face. Again, just boosting 100, boosting at 10k. Then I've got Oxford Inflator, just doing its thing. If you turn the output down by 3 dB and turn the effect up full, you're not creating any volume, you're just getting the effect. I have Neutron on here. You don't need this, just an ordinary EQ would work. I'm just messing about with this, I'm trying it out. Don't know whether to buy it or not, we'll see. Then I've got Fab Filter as my limiter on the end. Fairly straightforward. And that's that. So, yeah. So I just thought I'd update you on these chains that I'm using, the Grit and Crush. I'll give you a little demo of what the Grit and the Pultec thing does. So if my it's a fairly heavy session this, so my computer's glitching a little bit because it's not like in the, you know, the screen capture and recording the audio onto another one, etc. So it's, bear with me if it glitches a little bit. So if we get the vocals there, so we'll play with the Pultec in, and I'll try and mute it out and see if we can get away with it with not glitching.
What you've done to me, never set me
Take
free.
it out.
Until I'm imprisoned in the ground, heart is cold as stone.
Bring it in.
Without you I'm alone. I trust I break before I make.
Take it out. So I hope you can hear that. It's really in that mid-frequency range there that it's just really brings it forward, you know. We'll do the same with the grit, see what happens.
What you've done to me, never set me free.
Take it out.
Until I'm imprisoned in the ground, heart is cold as stone. Without you I'm alone. I trust
That's really adding a lot there. That's adding a lot of grit and passion. Let's do the shimmer and just see what that does.
what you've done to me, never set me free. Until I'm imprisoned in the ground, heart is cold as stone. Without you I'm alone. I trust I break before I make.
You can hear that's just adding some nice high end to it, etc. Okay, so I mean that's it really. I mean the master effect, all I would say is just watch as you're mixing. I'm a bit tickling this needle, you can see I'll play it.
What you've done to me, never set me free. Until I'm imprisoned in the ground.
So it's never more than 3 dB of compression going on that one. And that's just, you know, what, just keep your eye on them as you're mixing into them, etc. I'm not going to bore you with my drum parallel chains. You've seen them in other videos. They haven't changed. The only thing is I've added in the grit one, the grit parallel track that's in there as well. Okay, so I hope that was interesting, hope it was useful, and I'll be back with more. I mean, I've got an album to mix here, plus I've got more stuff going on, so I'll have plenty of material to, when I come across things that I think you'll find interesting, I'll make a video. Alright, cheers folks, see you later.